love letter to CRPGs. Why do we love CRPGs so much? Computer role-playing games with a big computer in front of the RPG. It all started nearly 30 years ago, and I keep playing CRPGs by scrapping everything aside and only playing CRPGs when they're out on day one. Only 5% of audience of players today plays CRPGs, and that's a very low number, while 95% of players picks MOBAs, multi-stream games, all of those shooters, two mesh button games, and similar stuff, while us 5% know how to value real games, or better to say, isometric CRPGs. For me, it all started with Diablo 1 back in December 95th, and even though I know it's action RPG, it had a lot of CRPG mechanics, okay? So, my very first CRPG was Baldur's Gate 1 and Fallout 1. What you see here are the next-gen RPG games, and even if it failed a bit, if not even failed a lot, it's still better than 95% of the games we get today. So how do we value CRPGs? What's so special about them? Why do we keep playing them where there are so many different genres? What is it in them? What you see around me is what CRPGs consist of. Everything you see here is transferred into high fantasy world, and that's a beautiful thing in CRPGs. No other genre can capture that magic. Computer role-playing games with isometric perspective. There is no simple answer here. Perhaps I like isometric view the most in CRPGs. It's great when you have a clear overlook of the entire map. You just won't miss a thing if you're focused and detailed enough. Perhaps I like choices and consequences, and only CRPGs can offer hundreds of choices and consequences with amazing replay value. Perhaps I like game time and how long it takes to finish the game, because we all know there is no single CRPG under 30 hours length, while average is for sure above 60 hours in a genre. Perhaps I like variety in races, classes, subclasses, backgrounds, perks, quirks, feats, passive and active spells. Let's be real, only CRPGs offer such depth. Perhaps I like how one simple side quest can be done in a lot of different ways. Intimidate, persuade, lie, deceive, bluff, straight on fight, cheese those fights. Options are limitless. Perhaps I like itemization and inventory management in the genre. So many different options of how you want to equip and gear up your entire team. Perhaps I like applying different tactics, no matter if it's turn-based CRPG or a real-time CRPG. Perhaps I like how every fight feels different, distinct, and unique, including boss fights. Perhaps I like the sweet reward once you accomplish something and that sweet sound of level up. Perhaps I like that huge variety in maps when all colors are included, from forests and mountains to dungeons and catacombs. Perhaps I like reading items, their inscriptions, crafting, making something out of nothing. So how come this genre is losing audience? If it offers the most out of them all, why is it happening? Well, it's overwhelming, especially to people that are used to have an arrow above their heads. This genre is just straight overwhelming. With info, it tends to be slow at the start. Conversations can drag for someone that steps into a game and expects to shoot something from the very start. CRPGs, they're building the world slowly around the player. They do not force anything on you. They give you freedom of choice. They give you the option to play in your own pace. It's called immersion. Immersion is the main reason why we love CRPGs. No other genre offers immersion like CRPGs do. It's the most important thing in gaming and entertainment overall, immersion. Let me explain what's the actual immersion in CRPGs. Let's say you watch a movie. A good guy is wiping out an army of bad guys, linear line, and you know how it's gonna end. You play a linear game like, I don't know, Resident Evil 1 for example, and you know how it's gonna end. Kill zombies, survive, and escape/stop the virus. But when you play CRPGs, that linear line stops. Not only for traversing the maps, where you like to go and so on, but it's how you approach every single encounter in the game. There will be tons of different endings and outcomes, not only for the main plot, but all of those side plots and mini quests and companion quests. Options are limitless. You can be lawful good, chaotic evil, neutral, chaotic good, 1 million choices for people to pick from. You like to steal in real life, but you can't. It's there in CRPGs. You like to follow the rules and law, it's there. Just pick a lawful good paladin. You like to fuck around with people, it's there. Pick chaotic character. And then bluff, lie, deceive. That's the thing in CRPGs that no other genre can offer. You can build your own castles, armies, manage your team, make them like you or dislike you, and all of that is available while you can still go and crawl in all of those dungeons under your own pace. Now don't make me start about dungeons, skill checks, traps, ambushes, combat variety that depends on the team you're playing with, pre-buffs, planning, strategizing, executing. It's the genre that makes you use your brain. It's complex for a reason. You need to pay attention on enemy's armor class, on their resistances, priority targets. Every move you make feels like some mega complicated version of chess. The most beautiful part by far is mastering the game, reducing 5-minute fights into 10 seconds. It takes practice, it takes game knowledge, and huge imagination. Thousands of examples exist when even devs can't believe how players find ways to beat something in a matter of seconds. I did some of those crazy things myself, I witnessed others doing it, and the best thing about us in CRPG, the fans of CRPG, is a good, selfless community. We love to see others doing amazing things without one trace of envy or jealousy. We enjoy watching those mega hard unfair games break under our feet in the matter of seconds. If I learned something in the last 30 years of playing CRPGs, it's that wits and ideas are 10 times harder to develop than a learning to play some strict rules shooter, for example, and became good at it. Not to mention to become pro at it. CRPGs are a different beast, and that's why they're so brilliant. Players can't control them, devs can't control them. You never know what you're gonna see tomorrow. I enjoy providing content in terms of guides, reviews, walkthroughs, puzzles, and boss fights on the hardest difficulty available. I'm a variety streamer and love to play all genres, but nothing puts a smile on my face like CRPGs. And there is one and only thing that's stronger than immersion in CRPGs. Very few people realize, or they even know it. The main thing that makes CRPGs so strong is one word only: freedom. Freedom is the thing that's most important in real life. That same thing that we're all denied in the last 2 years. We are born free, and CRPGs are giving us the most important thing that exists in the world: bloody freedom. It's more important than hate, love, greed, devotion, pride. Call however you like. Freedom is the most important thing that exists in the world, and freedom is the main category in every CRPG. Freedom of movement, freedom of choice, freedom of how you want to play in your own pace. So, what are the CRPGs I can recommend to everyone out there? I'm talking about thousands of hours of quality game time. Start with old school: Fallout 1 and 2, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Icewind Dale 1 and 2, Planescape Torment, then switch to less known titles like Lionheart, Legacy of the Crusader. After you're done with those, go ahead and enjoy Neverwinter Nights 1 and 2, Dragon Age Origins, Mask of the Betrayer. Close them all up with Pathfinder Kingmaker, Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, Tyranny, Wasteland 2 and 3, and after you're done with all of this, consider some indie CRPGs. You got at least 50 good ones to pick from. I'll recommend Torment, Tides of Numenera, Disco Elysium, Solasta, Crown of the Magister, Arcanum, Shadowrun franchise, The Temple of Elemental Evil, Avernum, and so on. We all eagerly await for new Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, and Baldur's Gate 3, and there are at least 5 promising indie CRPGs coming up in 2022. As far as I can tell, this genre, the best and most complex genre in gaming history, will live for a long time, even with its low amount of player base, because we are loyal consumers unlike 90% of other players for all genres included. Thank you all for watching. I hope you're gonna share this video and share it only with CRPG audience, because after all this is a love letter to CRPGs, and I'll be seeing you on the next one.